Hello and welcome to episode 46 of our Ostriv Alpha 4.7 Let's Play. It is October of 1796 in our town. We have 2,205 residents, and boy oh boy have we built a lot lately. Last couple episodes have been pretty much all of these houses. Had a bunch more over here. We have this school, we have church and stuff, and then we've got this whole area up here and a couple more of these reforestation areas as well. So town is growing. And there's a lot more we can be doing here, and a lot more we can be accomplishing. So, what we're going to do in today's episode is build, like you would have guessed. And someone made a comment in the last video about how there's not any benches around for people to rest. So we're going to be adding some of those. Probably can't do one in front of every single house because we have been putting a bunch of trees places, but I do know that is a very important mechanic for the game, to allow people to rest, so we will be doing that. And why is this? I guess this is just a little tree guy that's not gonna go away. Huh? This guy should have gone. We'll get rid of him. But I digress. We've got a lot to get done, so let's go ahead and get started. And I think a good spot to begin is probably going to be adding some more graves here. I know the exact subject we want to start a video off with, but it is very important to make sure that we have enough space to bury the dead, because I don't want to listen to, well, you don't listen to visual things, but it's been a long day. Don't want to see that notification in the corner of the screen for the next eternity, so we're just gonna add a couple more here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to place a whole bunch of house plots, and while those are being built, we're gonna beautify the town a little bit. Can't do a time lapse every single episode, although I'm sure there's some of you that would like that, and it's all well and good. Well, it's about time we do a little bit more stuff that is instantly appreciable and improves the town, instead of me just letting the game run for an hour while the screen recorder does its thing. So we'll be taking full advantage of that. And we do have a couple of empty ones. We are going to do another layer here. And then at some point we're going to come back and put a fence around all this. But I do want to make sure we have enough capacity in the little cemetery area to make sure that we are good to go for at least a little while longer. So we'll do these couple right here. Do another layer on the other side. And then we'll move on to other things. Sometimes when you place these graves, the game doesn't like to show you the outline of the old ones, and that's a little irritating, but I'm just attribute that to a bug or some sort of other thing that you can't really do too much about, so we'll just deal with it. Just a couple more of these left to go. I'm sure by the end of this video these will all be completely filled, because people are just relentlessly dying, because the town is reaching that stage where pretty much everybody who would have immigrated here at the start of the game is dead, and a lot of their children could be as well, depending on how old individuals end up living. So, I know I've been saying forever we're going to put a farm up in this corner. We're not quite there yet. We actually don't need the production from the farm. We have plenty of resources, but we will, by the time we get to another couple hundred residents, we will need that production, especially for specific resources if we ever expand the livestock, especially the potatoes, and a couple other things will be very useful to have as well. So I haven't taken a look at the cows. Oh my god, that's a lot of bulls. So why don't we go ahead and make some room. I'm not going to do all of them, but just want to make sure we're not letting stuff get too far out of hand here. It's always good to just take a quick look. Yeah, see, like this, like half of the guys in here. No. Next update is rumored to be the spoilage update. So want to make sure we can take advantage of this while we can, because I think when we do our restart for Alpha 5, there's going to be some pretty annoying new game mechanics to get used to, after we have enjoyed for so long limitless food storage and no spoilage. and all that other stuff. But at some point, the game has to become a little more realistic, right? So we will adapt to that as we get there. Don't know exactly, no, I have to leave that guy. Don't know exactly when that's going to be because the developer is currently working in an active war zone, so can't place too many expectations on the timeline there. But we have been assured on the Twitter that it is in progress. They've had, I think, 6 buildings complete, is what he said. And they've got a couple other things to work on, as well as the other general improvements that they are planning for that release. I know there's going to be an entire new production chain for bricks, rumored alcohol as well, and some new housing types. So I'm particularly excited about those. I cannot wait to see row houses, or whatever they end up being called. I think that would add a very, very nice dynamic to city centers, especially more densely populated areas. Like something like this part of the island right here would be a perfect candidate for that. You could have your houses more densely populated, or even just connected to each other, or have something where the shop's on the bottom and the family lives on top, and private businesses and everything. That would just be such a fantastic addition to the game, and I can't wait to see whatever implementation of that we get. So what we're going to go ahead and do is put in another bank of houses right here, because we always love to have these things lined up so nicely. And we'll just go ahead and do the standard thing here. Try to get them at least roughly aligned. And then I'm actually going to leave a little bit of room at the edge here to allow for a little walkway. And then, of course, we'll come right along the back side here. Do this exact same thing again. And they will get busy with that before too long. And again, these don't have to be perfectly straight, and they're not. But it is very fun to see all of these things take shape as we add them. We're going to leave this open just a little bit here. I'll probably end up putting some other facilities on this side. We want to make sure we have open access to all 4 corners of this right here. So that's another math. It's 12. I don't know why I'm so bad at math. But we'll go ahead and add a few more here as well. Nice wide avenues. And we'll get them going on this, and then set off on our tasks to beautify as much of the town as we possibly can. Now, you might be saying, yeah, this is a little sloppy. That's by design. We can't have everything be perfectly straight, even if it's supposed to be straight. Not everything is perfect, and there's plenty of real-life cities where street grids have been off very, very slightly, or they have different sections that have been plopped in front of other sections and all sorts of stuff. There's a lot of really fascinating theory behind how cities and city layouts get designed, and if that's something you're interested in, I'd highly encourage you to see if there's something about your town or your area you might live in that you've never thought about. And there's all sorts of resources online. You can even just go to Google Maps and do bird's eye view of wherever you're living and look for weird inconsistencies. Like I know in Atlanta, which is where I've spent a lot of time, there's a district of town that was built aligned to railroad tracks, and then the railroads left and the city expanded, so they just went to a north-south street grid. So you look at the map and there's this weird diagonal street grid for a small part of the city, and the rest of it's just pretty much on a grid. Then you have your other, I don't know, Atlanta's probably a bad example because it's like somebody got drunk and threw darts at a dartboard to figure out where stuff was going to go there. But there's plenty of cities that are interesting and full of character, even in America, which is a not a very good place for logical city planning, we'll say. But plenty of cities in Europe have fantastic city planning. South America, even ancient civilizations that have long since passed, there's evidence of really good thought going into the layout of the cities and different infrastructure and things. It's absolutely fascinating, but at risk of boring everyone to death, we're going to leave that topic and move on and get back to our bench placements, because there's so many places that could use a bench. And on this road, the trees are just a little bit too close together. But what we can do, we can find individual spots where they're not and just insert our benches there. Like right here. They haven't finished planting all the trees yet, so it's a little annoying to try and pick stuff out. But there are a few spots, I think, remaining where we can put benches in. I am going to go ahead and increase game speed. But not everything is going to fit, and that's okay. We actually haven't put trees on all of these streets yet. So I think what I might want to do is put in a couple of these benches before I put in the trees. See if I can figure out how to leave just enough space for a tree. Oh yeah, see, look at all these guys sitting down. They're ready. They've been ready. They have remained ready for the entirety of time for these benches to be installed. Now, try to leave enough space. I hope I don't leave too little space. Some of these trees. Actually, we can find out right now if I can fit these birch trees. Okay, I see. I've made mistakes. But we will just very, very close. Very close. So that's the bad thing about doing this in real time, right? Like, you know, the only editing I ever do on these videos is to just speed up time lapses or cut out a lot of silence, or if I have to, you know, restart the game. So if I'm making stupid mistakes, you're going to see them. Like me right there and just putting the bench down twice. Too close. So, man, it is eerie just how wrong I get this sometimes. So I guess what we'll do is just, it is so consistently close. I guess what we'll go ahead and do is just plant a couple of trees, particularly in that spot. That seems to be a pretty popular place for me to be sticking trees anyway. Just plant a couple of these. We'll come back and do more of these later. But if I have the trees in place, that means I can't put them in the wrong spot, and the benches will be able to fit. And all will be okay. See, this one. Oh, that is unbelievably close. So, looks like we're doing a detour on the benches to put in all these trees. But you know, that's just how things go. Best laid plans go to waste, or so they say. So instead, you get to watch me click and put some trees in. That's going to be a long time before they get all those in. And I am going to stop when the snow starts falling. Probably do time lapse through the winter, just because it's really hard to see in wintertime in this game. So what we'll go ahead and do, we'll pause the game real quick, and I will go ahead and, yeah, see, we're almost done here. Just go ahead and put in trees here. So now that we have that bench in that spot, we can actually go ahead and put trees in, because you don't have to worry about the location of the bench if the bench is already there, and you don't have to worry about the trees if the trees are already there. So combine together, and you'll have most of a functioning argument for why you do the things that you do. And then the people on your YouTube channel can either tell you you're insane, or you just move on with your life like nothing happened. All right, so we got those 3 benches. I'm going to put a couple more, and then we'll fill in with trees. Again, I'm probably don't need to do every house. But, you know, it is nice to have a decent number of benches available because people do need to have somewhere to sit. So I think that is good for that. We'll go ahead and place the rest of these birch trees in. Then make very small adjustments because, you know, if you place everything at the exact minimum distance, you're going to have one spot that is just a little bit weird in terms of spacing. So I can't quite fit 2 trees here. So I'm going to put 1 in the middle, split the difference. And I think I can get away with another one here. Yes. Put a tree here. I think this is going to be perfect. Yes. Looks good to go. Good to go. Split the difference there. Put 1 more here. Turn around and do the exact same thing on this side. If I can get... Yes. That's looking good. Put another one here. Another one here. We are cooking with gas. What a stupid American expression. I don't even know where I picked that up. I'm sure someone in the comments might know. It's probably on some dumb TV show in the 90s. Alright, so that's there. We're almost ready, folks. Go ahead and restart the clock here. Get these last few trees put in, and then I think it's going to be building time-lapse time. I know I said earlier in the episode I probably wouldn't do any time-lapses. I lied. I meant in terms of having the entire episode be time-lapses. No, I'm not going to do that. But this now has more benches for people to rest and has some trees. It's going to be pretty nicely landscaped. So, without further ado, how about some time-lapsing? See you on the other side. Alright, so now our snow is beginning to melt. I can actually see things again. And we have some new houses constructed. 8 of them to be exact. So, what we'll go ahead and do is pick out these straggler trees real quick to be removed in favor of our newer, more wonderful trees that I have yet to plant. Actually, you know what? We might be able to just leave the forestry to get some of these, but these ones that are furthest to the south, I think we still will need manual intervention for. But we're going to let them continue building the rest of those houses as we continue doing this. I just wanted to time-lapse through the winter because that can be pretty annoying to stare at just white all the time. So we'll take care of that. I think we can get these last couple of big pine trees out of here. Those 2 will get these. If I can click on the actual tree and not the house. Thank you for not clicking the right spot. There we go. And I think they should get the rest of these in due time as construction warrants, because there's not really that many trees left over here. They'll be able to get to here, but they'll have to get these other ones soon as well. So we're going to continue planting some other trees. I know we did this one last time. We did this just recently. And we've got some more up here we can be doing. So let's go ahead and start off with placing just a few birch trees along the edge of the little house entrances here. Seems to be a pretty good strategy for placing trees and benches in this type of an area. Now, I know there's some of you that are screaming at your computers right now saying, why don't you just do something that's off the grid? That's a very good question. I don't have the answer to that. But what I do have the answer to is us getting to 3,000 population, which was my eventual goal for this playthrough before Alpha 5 gets out. And to be honest with you, I don't know if the game will support 3,000. I've not seen a save with that many people in it that's been stable. And I'd like to try it out. Best way I know how to get there is to just be very efficient with space usage, and make sure that most households have their own garden plots. So, a good way to do that is to just build a lot of houses with garden plots in a grid. And of course, there's other areas of the town that are a little more interesting to look at. And we've seen some of those. So I think I can get away with doing this. Yes, looks like it. So now we'll come back in with our benches. We'll do every 2 houses with the bench on this side. Then another one over here. Actually, this one we'll put on that side. Just so we have more space over here for those guys. And you might have noticed that in the time lapse we had our construction workers getting frozen again. That is still unfortunately a pretty severe bug with the game. The construction workers do tend to lag substantially, and that can cause issues with getting stuff built in a timely manner. So hopefully that's something that gets addressed in a future update. I know the developer said that he was looking for examples of that, and I think this was a long time ago. I think I sent him my save for it. But to be honest with you, I don't completely remember. Okay, so I guess that's probably fine. Put this here, just do one more there. Just do one more here. One more here, because I think that's the limit of how many trees I can fit in that one spot. Come back around here. Do one more like this. Don't worry, we will not be placing trees and benches for the entirety of today's episode. Just wanted to make sure that I got at least a few of these done. Because if I don't do it now, I probably am never going to do it, and that doesn't make for very interesting Let's Play videos. So, looks like that is all taken care of on that side. Then they just keep on building more houses. And I think it's just being mostly filled up with marriages, which, you know, a little slower than the other strategy of just mass immigration, but they haven't planted these trees. I wonder if it's because there's not a close enough forestry, or if they just haven't gotten to it yet. I guess we can park here and wait to see if somebody comes and plants a tree, but I'm not going to hold my breath, because there'd be a reason why these 3 hadn't been planted yet. It shouldn't just be left up to chance. So, annoyingly, what that means is I'm going to have to put in, to get those trees built, I'm going to have to put in another forestry. And I don't really have space for one over here. I'd have to displace a house or an orchard, and I don't think I'm willing to do that. How far away is... Okay, this one might be an issue because of all the pathing. It might be too far away. Okay, they settled when I built that. Okay, well, that could be an interesting problem to have to deal with at a later time, unless I can squeeze in... I can put a forestry here. I don't know if it's going to be... close enough. So let's, just for the sake of causing problems, let's just do that. Get that guy built first, and we'll come back and take care of that. In the meantime, we can keep adding adding trees over here while they're taking care of that. Yes, I know how very, very creative putting these right next to each other. We try. So one thing I do want to see if I can figure out is I want to put in, if you remember by the river in my map, I've got the densely packed houses with no gardens. I want to put in another cluster of those somewhere, except I don't have something as convenient as a river to follow. So I'm thinking this side of the map that we're working on right now, this kind of upper left corner, could be a good spot for another one of those areas of houses if we can figure out exactly where we can put something interesting, like a create kind of like a public park type area and then surround that with the denser houses. We'll see if that's something that I can't cut this tree down, can I? No. We'll see if that's something we can do, because I think right around this church is going to be a pretty good spot, especially with this farm right here, to put in some other production stuff in this general area. And around production is also a good spot to have more dense population, like I've been saying this whole time. All of these houses right here, because we have these tanneries, we have these various farm and textile things, and then this entire coastline, it's a riverbank, whatever. But all of this right here, I need to put something else interesting over here. And looking at our resources, we're pretty flush with everything right now. I guess you could say that we're lacking at some of the blacksmithing department for stuff like horseshoes and horse tack, but at the same time, we don't really do too much with horses because we have all of our wagon sheds. I don't think we're at a deficit for transportation, although we probably could stand to build a couple more wagon sheds. But even now, these aren't all in use, so I'm not convinced that that's the permanent answer there. Forestry is done. I'm just going to go ahead and hire some guys here, see if they will start planting these 3 trees here. We'll come back and take a look at that at a time. Because once these trees are all exhausted up here, I don't want to just keep putting more and more of these rows of houses. There's going to have to be something interesting. And we've already established the farm is going to go in the corner here. But what if, like, just outside the farm we had some more of these houses with no, I know there's no market stalls. Just had some of these guys. Wow, this is lagging a lot. But around like a nice curved fence line with some trees, some gazebos, and some other production things. Make like a little mini village almost. Kind of like what we have over in this corner right here, how this is all curved and has like the trees separating it. Create a little bit of visual interest to make something that's just a little bit unique and not exactly the same as everything else. It reminded me I have to check on these wells. I think we're doing okay. We're probably also going to need to build... You know, it might not hurt to have a carpentry. I don't know where our closest one is to here. I think it could be... It's not even over here, is it? No, that's another cart shed. We might want to just go ahead and build another carpentry. Did they plant these trees? Not yet. I'm hoping they will soon. That would be nice, because I don't want to have to get rid of a house to put some trees in. That's kind of stupid. We haven't been doing too much with the traders lately. I do know we need some more iron ore. Mead we are fresh out of, so that's good to get rid of that. We can sell some sunflower oil, get some of our money back up. We don't have any clothes and export stock, really? Oh, this is the river trading. Okay, I forget I don't always have stuff stocked in there, but I think I do have one of these. I have this crop in, and I can't remember which one it is. It must not be the river one. But I thought I had apples. It could be the land trading. I still don't have these built. Boy, that's going to be... I can't demolish the orchards because they take forever to get back to bearing fruit. So I guess it would have to be one of these houses, which is an absolute shame. And also, frankly, pretty annoying. So I guess we'll put that house on hold and we'll relocate one of these families. Yeah, and then we'll just go ahead and move that guy out of there. Let's go ahead and empty that out, and then, yeah, there we go. That was a failed experiment, but that's okay. We try stuff, and if it doesn't work, then you know, it doesn't work. Not really too much you can do about that. That's how you learn. That's how I learned the game, at least. Believe it or not, there's hardly any Ostriv gameplay that I haven't recorded and put up on the internet. Back all the way to early Alpha 3, I'm pretty sure. I think I might have played maybe a couple hours before I decided to start making videos. I don't know, so you've seen pretty much the entirety of my my knowledge and learned experience in this game is published online for everybody to watch, which is, I guess if you think about it, kind of nuts, but yeah, whatever. Don't particularly mind, just need to get these 200 wood out, and we will demolish the failed forestry and move on with our lives as soon as that's gone. Guess I could help by getting rid of these guys a little bit. Somebody come get this wood. You already reserved it, just come pick it up. Yeah, so that house is done. It's on hold, so nobody can move in. That is where this other family is going to go. As soon as this is done. So let's go ahead. Oh, they've already planted? Okay, well, I regret to inform you that because you have fewer people living in your house, you are now moving there. Okay. So the house is vacant. We can demolish the house. Get that done. And I guess we can't have immigration because we don't have any working taverns. Because we don't have any alcohol. Nice to know that that's the priority of the game for immigration is can't buy a drink, can't move here. Well, to each their own. Not a particular drink type of person. But that will we'll get rid of this. We'll put a forestry there, and then as soon as those trees are built, we will demolish the forestry, and this will be the most ridiculous exercise in futility that the world has ever seen, at least with regard to the last 5 minutes of Ostriv gameplay. So let them take care of that, and we are going to continue. I can't remember if the game had just not let me put a tree here, or if I was just dumb. Okay, so it doesn't care because it's outside the map. That's okay. Just plant a couple of these guys more. I know I've probably got another 20 or 30 of these in terms of length of the edge of the map here. So we'll just do these in little chunks. I know it's very boring to watch me just click trees constantly. But that's the way it goes. Not everything in life can be super interesting, but you can always have fun doing something if you take a look at it in perspective. So we'll just, this guy is not having a good day. He's like down on the ground. Well. Okay, there you go. He got better. Alright, so they're tearing this house down. I appreciate how there's a little dust cloud as stuff gets removed from the house. That's always fun to watch. In my opinion, at least. Go ahead and give them a little bit of a speed boost to help. And I should be able to just squeeze this in. Oh, yeah, that's close. Go ahead and make these stacks of resources empty. These guys should come get it. Oh, that's a cherry tree, huh? Oh, I'm gonna have to get rid of it. That's a shame. I think this is going to be close. I think it should let me build this, even with these trees in the way here. Should be just a little bit of space in here. That's perfect for this. This is so stupid. And I can't believe I am actually trying this, but when you gotta get these trees built, you gotta get these trees built. I don't know. Don't know what else to say. If for no other reason than to make entertaining antics on YouTube, we'll just keep on trying here. Oh, so close. This is stupid what I'm doing here. An incredible waste of time. Now somebody's moving out. It's probably having to do with firewood again. I thought I'd fixed all those problems. So this is when I wish I had a crappy keyboard that didn't have mechanical switches, so I could just kind of jam on it and get it to very slightly go. But the switches are really good at staying going. Okay, so why did these people move out? I wish I should have clicked on that other notification, because we're in a spot now where I can't get rid of these tree seedlings because a forestry hasn't planted them. And a forestry hasn't planted them because there isn't a forestry close enough to plant them. So, you know, that's sometimes that's just the way it goes. Sometimes you make a mistake and you spend a lot of time making it, so you think, you know what, I gotta stick with this. I gotta see it through to the end. Then sometimes somebody reminds you that, you know what, you're kind of insane, and you should maybe focus your energy on doing something else. But I just... Oh, yes. Oh, so close. Oh, come on. Finally. Okay. That took way too long. Entirely too long to get done. So we'll let them build this stupid forestry right here in the middle of town. And as soon as that's done, we'll put a house there. Oh, wow. Okay. This episode's already getting rather long. So suffice it to say, it's been a little bit more time marking these trees for removal. Hope that they, I guess they're already cutting that one down. Hope that they get their stuff figured out and we get this other thing done, because I think that's probably a good way to close this episode out, is to see those last couple of trees in the middle of their little tree line over there completely taken care of and good to go. I guess our tavern is functioning again, which is good news. Just wish we could make alcohol. That'd be so much easier, so much better, and I'm looking forward to that in the next update when that comes out. But for now, all we can do is get this forestry finished and get these guys hired to plant trees. And by these guys, I mean one guy, and have him go over here and plant these 3 trees. And as soon as they're done, then he's done, and that forestry is done, and we're going to get rid of it. So while we're waiting, let's go ahead and get these Barvin Cove guys going here. Yeah, get some of that good stuff. We have so much wool. We have so much... We don't have any sheepskin, really. I guess the tannery is probably waiting on lime, if I had to guess. That would make sense. Actually, we should probably check on those guys. So I think these are all... Yeah, these are all just regular leather. This is sheepskin, waiting on sheep hides and bark. So I guess we have to slaughter sheep. It is almost the end of the season, so I guess that's probably fine. How are we doing over here in stupid tree land? He still haven't planted these trees, huh? You think you're just gonna get away with not planting trees? Alright, guy. Get over here, plant some trees. These people want to go do other things with their lives outside of stare at these 3 trellises for, I don't know, an entire episode. Come on. I guess we're gonna have to come back and look at these later. Yeah, I don't see any signs of them doing that anytime soon. How are we looking on our... Are you kidding me? They're already full? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I guess next person that dies is going to have this notification pop up in the corner again, and that is, shall we say, irritating. But whatever. What are you going to do? You'd think they would have planted stuff by now. You know, are we even producing any bark? I'm not sure any of these forestries are actually producing bark. Okay, this one's producing a tiny bit. Okay, there's a couple. Could be worse. Come on. I was really hoping they would plant this as soon as I put this other forestry in. What are these guys doing? Resting. Okay. Okay. Looking to get a log, chopping a tree, going to work. Plant your trees, man. You got these trees need to be planted. What an anticlimactic finish to that. Okay. Shoes. We'll sell some shoes, sunflower oil, clothing. Okay, it was this one that had apples for sale. Good. Iron ore, we'll go ahead and buy again. See, I think I'm pretty much good on most of the rest of this stuff just because we have had things figured out for so long. I need to buy more lime. And I think that's probably good. I'm begging these forestry guys to plant these trees, I swear. Oh, that's annoying. But what are you going to do? Honestly, there's not really much. Not really much you can do. So, I think this is probably as good of a spot as any to just go ahead and call it a day for today's episode. I'm sorry it's not quite as exciting as some of the other ones, but it is still good progress we're making. We're setting up to get closer and closer to 3,000 with each passing episode. So, of course, not going to get out of one of these episodes without me plugging my Twitch at twitch.tv/jcthebeard. Stream pretty infrequently on there, but whenever I do, it's a good time. Got a nice community of people on there, and we just hang out, chill, have a good time, and relax playing games that are not city builders. Currently playing a lot of Persona 4, as well as stuff like Power Wash Simulator, puzzles, and GeoGuessr. It's a lot of fun if you've ever done anything like that. But yeah, if you want to be a part of it there, that's great. We'd love to have you. If not, having you here on YouTube is plenty fine, and we enjoy... I don't know who this we is. I enjoy. You enjoy as the community. I'm assuming. That's why you're still here. Enjoy watching these videos and enjoying positive, supportive comment section and interacting with these people like you that come every episode to just drop a like, drop a comment, say hi, or whatever have you. Whatever that means to you, we're glad to have you here and hope that you will join us in the next episode, whenever that is, hopefully soon, as we await the release of Alpha 5. So, that's all the time we've got for today. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.